You've got to bend on the door. Forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take anymore.
Welcome back to the Bear Pit Pod. Craig's back. Holiday good?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Was it Thailand?
Thailand, yeah, for 2 weeks, coming back to this lovely climate of Britain.
Yeah,
cheer me up no end.
Those of you watching on YouTube might be able to notice the tan.
You noticed the tan.
Slight
Someone at work said to me, "You've got no tan."
Nose is red.
Nose is red. I burned. That's all I did. I didn't really.
And my voice has gone.
Sounds a bit crackled.
Yeah, it's a bit knackered from screaming at Stoke in the pub at the weekend. But we will get into that.
It's quite a pest. I feel quite down, El, to be honest.
Yeah, don't we all?
Feels a bit.
Don't we all, Craig? It's going to be a struggle to be a positive pod, so to say.
Positive Potter.
Yeah, positive Potter. There won't be many of them about at the minute.
No.
But to start lineups, you went back to a back three.
Yeah.
For this game.
And to all intents and purposes, I know we lost the game, but it kind of worked.
Yeah.
I can't help but think that's largely down to Arsenal's kind of lethargic sort of attitude. That the whole tone of the Arsenal team was very, the crowd was off there. Wanted a load of empty seats. They thought it was a very lax atmosphere. The season's
done. The sixth or fifth.
And I kept saying to those around me who was watching it with, I said, if we're going to pull off a shock result, today's the day. They don't look arsed. Their fans don't look arsed. We're finding a bit of space when we attack. I've not seen us find that sort of space at Arsenal away since we've been in the Prem.
Yeah.
And I genuinely kept turning to those around me thinking, we're going to do it today. This is the one. This is the shock result we need if we're going to stay up.
No, I felt pretty confident at moments. And
just before their goal as well, there was a 5-10 spell where we were getting to a lot of decent positions. I think Shaq had just hit the post in the corner or whatever it was.
In the first half, he had the chance where he bent it.
Yeah.
Almost into the top corner.
Yeah.
They went in at half time to booze.
Yeah. It just there. If we're going to do it,
it was a real chance. It was a real chance. And then obviously, as you said, we came back out. Shaqiri nearly bent a corner straight in the post.
Yeah.
They got the other end. I know.
Never a penalty.
Never ever.
Because he won the ball and
Ozil kicked Bruno's leg.
And was it Alan Smith who's commentating?
Yeah, said it. He said it's a fair pen.
It's a fair pen, fucking prick.
Let's just say, Alan Smith ex-Arsenal.
Ex-Arsenal. I was ready. I was so wound up anyway at the circumstances of the pen. When he said that, it just tipped me over the edge. What a bellend. What is he on about? He mustn't have seen that, or he's been stupidly biased. But
stupidly biased, I think.
God, we needed that. A point would have, been a reasonable weekend, really, ish. Yeah. But we just heads went, didn't they, after that?
Obviously, the penalty decision. Obviously, maybe with VAR, that wouldn't have happened. Does that make you any more favourable of having VAR or not? Bruno's come out himself and says he still wouldn't want VAR.
It's not really crossed my mind that VAR could have influenced that, I suppose. I mean, you get some, you don't, you know what I mean? What did annoy me, a load of Arsenal fans came out and said, oh, well, that's payback for the offside decision at our place in the season. And to clarify again...
It was offside.
It was offside. But Arsenal fans have somehow made that into a thing that even though it was like a millimetre offside, in their minds, that's unlucky.
Yeah.
Offside's offside.
A strange bunch.
They are a strange bunch.
After that as well, Badu had a chance.
He did.
Peter Crouch headed it down. But I don't think they showed it on Match of the Day afterwards, but Peter Crouch got absolutely cleaned out.
Yeah, I did.
He got cleaned out. Should have been a penalty. If the others are penalties, that was more of a penalty than both of them.
He did.
And he got wiped out, and I think the only reason that wasn't given is because Badu had a chance and shot, but it was a definite penalty.
I thought it was. And that was the one where I think he should have, and I should have, Berahino was in acres as well.
Yeah, he was in the gap.
Absolute acre. Whether he would have scored is another thing.
Well, yeah.
With his, I say goal scoring record at Stoke. He's not started that. Yeah, even at 1-0 we could have nicked it. But I suppose what disappointed me most was you could see shoulders drop after that goal went in to make it 1-0. Which you appreciate you're going to be down after conceding a little bit, but it was the mannerism of like, you want that fight still, but we quickly dropped. Shaq's sort of that level of effort dropped significantly, I felt, after they scored. You could see for balls to it, I'm done. I suppose we'll get into Shaq later, will we?
Yeah.
A little bit. But, I don't know, if I'm being positive, I never expected us to win. Generally, our rivals didn't win around us, so we leave this weekend as we came into it, which I think I would have probably taken at the start, as desperate as things are. To be in the same position as we leave as we start the weekend.
Yeah, so after that, they grabbed another easy tap in for Aubameyang, and then late on, Badu shoulder to shoulder. Did you think that was a pen with Lacazette?
Yeah, fine. I think it was.
I still don't think that is.
I mean,
shoulder to shoulder, he's gone down like a sack of shit.
Maybe, Maybe. I mean, I can understand why the ref has given it, and by no means would I kind of kick off about that being a pen. I really wouldn't. I'm not saying that because you're already 2 down. You can understand why it's given.
I thought it was.
If you're being kind.
And Jack still yet to save a pen. He dives. Have you started noticing? Another few people have noticed this. Dives to the right, not almost every time. Every penalty. He's not got a good rate with penalties. Last one he saved, I think, was Chelsea in the cup.
In the cup, yeah. Hazard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
It's something that England will be looking at when they think about tournament keeper.
We could have done with that. We really could have done with him just getting that first one saved.
Oh, that'd have been a whole different story. Whole different story. Best players? Performers?
I think it was Ndai's best game for us. I thought he really looked impressive, and actually thought, maybe there's a play there. I was starting to doubt him a little bit, but I thought he played very well. I thought Indy looked alright despite it wasn't a penalty, was it? I thought Indy looked okay. Bauer, he is,
as always.
You know what?
Signing of the season.
When we go down, I think he's the one positive in the season. We've captured him. He should stay. Because we bought him only the other month, and I think he'll want to honour that a little bit. And
seems like a decent guy.
How much was he? He was cheap, wasn't he? 5 in this day and age. That's an absolute steal. He looks quite competent in midfield as he was played. He looks a decent defender. He's a real good player.
Worst performers. I know everyone's had a lot to say about Sobby after that game.
Yeah, probably. I'm so disappointed in Sobby. I think everyone is. There looked to be a player there for a long time, but he doesn't seem to. He's not very impactful. It's almost like the confidence has been beaten out of him. My dad kept quoting it's almost like we've coached it out of him. Yeah,
the talent.
Because there was moments last season where he would absolutely rip apart defences. And don't get me wrong, not necessarily the quality of a top 6 team, but I remember against, I think, Middlesbrough last year.
And Hull.
Don't get me wrong, again, Hull and Middlesbrough, they're not in the same quality of Arsenal. But he had it there to do that. At the moment, he seems, when he's kind of on a one sort of like attacking position against a fullback, you can see his whole body language is, I'm not going to do this, and it's always a half-assed.
It's not confident.
Yeah, it's always a half-assed attempt to kind of do the defender. I still think there's a player in there. I don't know where it's gone. I don't know if it'll ever return for Stoke.
And his agent's come out past few days or so and said there's 4 offers from other Premier League clubs. They just haven't reached Stoke yet. I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah, they got
a load of bullshit.
Stuff got stuck in the letterbox. I don't know. I think that this time last year, if you'd have quoted that 4 offers were coming in, so I completely understand that. This time, not so sure. I feel that he would have been a reasonable Championship player, someone to take and remould in the Championship, but for some reason, him and his agent think that he's destined to stay in the Prem. I don't know.
Anyone else who played badly? Did Alan have a great game?
I think even if Alan has a bad game, he puts himself about. I don't think he was that impactful in a footballing sense, but he certainly made his presence known.
I think Eric Peters frustrated me a few times.
Yeah, Eric was a bit frustrating.
John came back into the fold. I think I'd still prefer Staffy in there.
Staffy's injured though, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, just
in general.
When he's fit, I think he starts every time.
100%. Johnson was a little bit sloppy with his distribution, but not horrendous.
He didn't have too bad game.
I feel like we've said this several times now under Lambert, but when I look through the team, I think it's a solid overall performance. I don't want... No one was horrendously bad.
It was a great performance up until 70 minutes.
I'm annoyed by the score. If we go down on them goals conceded, that'd be annoying, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well. Man of the match?
Bauer.
I'll give it Badu.
Actually, yeah. Ooh, tight. Yeah, you're probably right, actually. You're probably right.
So, after that encouraging performance, 70 minutes, does that give you more faith going into the rest of the games, or is it still a case of, we're down?
Yeah, I think it does give me more faith, but at the same time, we've got to pull it out of the bag, haven't we? Can you think of other escapes this late on in the season?
There's the West Brom great escape.
The West Brom one, Leicester did it a few years ago. I can't.
I mean, it's still possible.
As well as we played against Arsenal, did we really create, decent one-on-one chances, really obvious chances? We didn't, did we? If truth be told,
the Shaq, Badu, the ones that stick in my mind: Shaq, Badu, and Shaq in the post.
And again, I'm not saying that we should be creating chances against Arsenal left, right, and centre. But when I look back on the games where we should be winning on paper, Watford's at home and maybe Southampton's away and whatnot. We didn't really create much there either. I can't see where we're going to score. I can't see where the goals are going to come from.
Coming from.
We'll defend well, and I think we'll get a few more clean sheets and a few draws, nil-nil draws. But I can't see us scoring. Other than the odd shat worldie, when's the last time we really carved out a decent opportunity and chance? Like a clever little passage going forward.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I mean, Huddersfield maybe.
I mean, there was a few bright moments going forward, but they came to nothing. There was some good interplay, down the wings. There was a few times where I was screaming about putting a cross in or squaring it, and it didn't beat the first man.
Yeah.
And it was better. It was
definitely better. I don't want to sound overly critical. If we were mid-table, I'd weirdly come away from the performance thinking, that's probably our best performance at Arsenal, I feel.
No, I think it is, strangely enough.
In 9 seasons or whatever it's been, but we still got battered there in the end. I don't know.
It's tough, isn't it? Tough.
I can hear how miserable I sound.
I know. Well, we all do.
Obviously
it's Spurs up next.
Great.
Spurs up next at home. That's the only saving grace.
Shining light. What do you reckon?
Don't know. We'll get on to that at the end. And then obviously after that it's West Ham, Liverpool, Palace, Swansea,
Burnley as well.
Burnley in the middle of that.
Middle of that, yeah.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
My hope or something is like Palace and Swansea have already secured safety, and they're on the beach.
Yeah.
And there's 2 wins there. And, it's like Huddersfield getting dragged into it now. Southampton aren't looking good. Obviously, this weekend, Arnautovic has come back to hold Mark Hughes.
Yeah.
They've beat Southampton 3-0, and Southampton look very bad.
They do.
They look awful.
They do. They, for what I'm feeling about Stoke at the moment, I imagine is what Southampton feels about their club. I went to Southampton a few weeks ago, and it felt like we were the better 365. They booed at half time, walking away from the ground. All their fans their heads were down. I felt this is what it feels like to be a Stoke fan. West Brom, then it's going to be
Huddersfield are
where
there.
are Palace? What are they on?
Let's get the table.
Let's have a quick look. I think it's. I say with reluctant certainty, I think it's going to be at least one of Stoke or Southampton. At least, and I hope it's obviously Southampton.
Palace are on 30, above Southampton on 28, or on 27, but Southampton have a game in hand. After that, Huddersfield 31, Swansea 31, West Ham 33, Brighton 34, Newcastle 35.
I think West Ham will get away. I don't think they'll be down there. Swansea, you just think they'll get more points based on the run they've been on.
And all those are also on 31, so they've got games yet to play.
Yeah.
It's just Huddersfield and Palace.
I think it's going to be 3 of... It's going to be 3... West Brom, obviously. Stoke, Southampton, Huddersfield, maybe Palace. It's going to be 2 of them 4.
It is tough. It's tough. 1 win, though. Imagine just this weekend. Imagine we just pull it off.
Just can't
and then that's it. You rallied then. You rallied and, you...
Then we've got a decent set. We've got, after this game...
And then you've got West Ham away.
Yeah, we've got a reasonable run in
Winnable.
now, kind of. Some teams have got absolutely horrendous runs in. I can't remember who, but I think...
Huddersfield isn't great.
Huddersfield isn't good. Palace are just coming out of a horrendous point, and they've got a reasonable run coming now, including us. We're not going to beat Spurs, are we?
Or
draw.
Know. We've seen stranger things happen.
Do you think that?
It will be tough. It will be tough. Obviously, they just beat Chelsea 3-1 at the weekend, away from home, and they're in flying form. They're not got any Europe left.
No,
so
Kane's coming back as well.
Kane's back.
I just can't see it.
Difficult.
Just can't see it. A draw would be good, but we're at that stage now where we almost need that freak win.
Yeah, we could do with a freak win. It'd be nice.
It's not going to come against Liverpool. That, for me, is the absolute... We are not winning at Liverpool or drawing at Liverpool.
You don't think?
No. I think Tottenham, just purely on the fact that we're at home, it's a slight better chance.
Hopefully they're burnt out from Champions League against
Hopefully.
2 games against Man City.
But it's at 8 points we've got away from home all year, and we've got to go to Liverpool. I just can't see it. If we're going to get anything, it's Spurs, maybe scrape a point.
Yeah.
And then we've got to win practically
Difficult.
3 games.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight.
I feel like I'm more pessimistic than usual, but justified.
Mate, you'd struggle to find people who are positive at this point. Yeah, no one will blame you. No one will blame anyone.
I hate sounding like this though, because I was quite the OK. I go on the OK message board and people literally, there's threads going on about, how will we get on next year in the Championship? What will our crowds be like? Who are we going to sell? It feels like we've gone down already, and I don't like seeing that sort of stuff. I appreciate and understand why people are so pessimistic, but it is. part of me was, so come on, there's still 6 games to go yet. We can do this, but then you look at the reality of the situation and what we've done so far and the lack of goals and and then you're brought quickly back down to earth. We need a win to kickstart any remnant of hope.
We need a win. Off the pitch, a big talking point between a lot of fans, what I see on the internet, is social media, and the players don't seem to be helping themselves at all. And the main person in this is Hesse. Posting. I'm not sure if you've seen the picture where he's got a silly do-rag, I think, on his head.
I've got it here because one of my mates texted me.
All over Instagram. I mean, the one person who does seem like he's learnt is Wimmer, because he's not actually posted anything since that Tottenham
Where's
game.
Wimmer, by the way?
He played in the under-23s.
It's that one, isn't it?
That one, yeah.
Are you sure that's the camera?
Show it to the camera, yeah.
I don't know if this is going to focus at all, but Hesse decided he's dressed himself up like that and posted on social media. I don't know what he's doing with himself. I'm not sure if that's fancy dress. Is that fancy dress?
No, it's dead serious, that.
So for those that are just listening, I just showed the image of Hesse's choice of outfit.
It's baffling.
It's
baffling.
Yeah.
But then, is this a sign that they aren't arsed, that they don't care? Like they're going out and posting things. He had his Batman cap on the other week. You've got Chupo all over Instagram and doing stories and not caring. I know I'm very much at the point footballers have got to have a life.
Of course, yeah, 100%.
But there's just tact. Tact, when to do it, when to not.
I know. I mean, put it this way: if you were playing for Stoke, you're in this relegation battle, would you be going and putting stuff on social media? And you're big on your social media, but you can acknowledge that just leave it for now.
Yeah, I mean, I get drunk and post on social media most weekends, but obviously I won't be doing that if it was a footballer.
No,
but I'd have tact. I'd have a bit.
You have to have tact. They don't get. It's us that suffers this relegation. Hesse will not give two shits.
They're off.
He's already gone in my mind. He will not give two shits when and if we go down.
Also, players maybe not helping themselves. Shaqiri did an interview with the Swiss magazine saying about how Ronaldinho would struggle in this side with some of the teammates that he's got. He said, I can't just throw the spoon, but it would have to be brutal by Stoke in the transfer market to revive my enthusiasm next season.
I think I'll be quite cautious with the word I use because he's been great for us this year.
Yeah.
But I cautiously say he's been an absolute wally. If you know what I mean. I'd like to be a bit harsher.
It's not helping, is it?
But what's he playing at? Again, Shaq will be gone this time next year. I'm not saying he's not tried this year because he has played well. That's obvious. But just shut up. That's ridiculous. And some people go, well, he's right though, isn't he? He's right. I don't give a shit if he's right. That is not the time or place. A bit of tact. That's not the time or place to be having to go. You can't, teammates were in the absolute dire straits we're in. It wound me up. That did no end from Shaq. It really did.
It's just not what you should be doing in this situation.
But it oozes out into...
Batten down the hatches and...
Shut up and get on. Yeah, because it oozes out, like, people will be perceiving Stoke. Our relegation rivals will look at Stoke, like Palace, for example, and think, it's going a bit tits up at Stoke. Then the Afterlife thing came out in the press that he was told not to
turn up to the training
because
anymore.
He's been a bad influence. I mean, I don't know what's happened there, but I'm annoyed that's leaked. It seems to be going
a bit wrong.
We're ticking, someone quoted this, we're ticking every single cliche relegation box going. Yeah. It's like relegation bingo. Player comes out in the press, have a go, someone comes in, told not to come to training, someone slagging off the team in the media, people dicking about on social media.
We've got the lot.
Missing last minute penalties, having players sent off in the biggest must-win game of the bloody decade. It just feels like fate a little bit.
It does feel like we're going down, unfortunately. One more point before we get into the people's questions. Tom, thrower, Sussex Stokey, stat man for us, put a blog out there yesterday. It was had a few interesting points in there.
I need to read that.
Yeah, don't read it now.
No.
But he said if we do go down or stay up, but more so, this sort of makes more sense to me if we do go down, does the club including board, need a complete overhaul? Can we trust the people who've put us into this mess to get us out of it?
How high up are you going?
Board.
As in owner. The chairman? No, I don't think... I mean, in the case of Peter Coates, good luck trying to find another local billionaire. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So no, not that level. Cartwright, recruitment, all that, yeah.
Scholes?
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's Cartwright and Scholes are responsible. Since Pulis left, it's drifted more towards them pair, hasn't it, for recruitment? Mm-hmm. And I can only say, based on the evidence, that's been an absolute balls up.
An absolute...
Kevin Wimmer
18
million. I think that's an absolute travesty. And managers...
Imbula, Berahino.
At least Imbula had some quality with him. And Berahino at least had a bit of history to show that he could perform. Kevin Wimmer played, 4 or 5 times for Spurs?
I think it was 9 Premier League appearances.
18 million. I mean, I don't know. I just find that absolutely gobsmacking.
Now he's rotting in the reserves. Well, under 20.
Tottenham must be absolutely
Daniel Levy's
laughing their heads off, because 18 million for him. Think what we could have got for that. We could have spent 10 million in the Championship on the best centre back in the Championship, or even League One. A decent cover. We could have given that to a charity, and I felt more pleased with the way. Do you know what I mean? Yes, for that reason, Cartwright and Scholes, I don't see how they can get away with this, really. Especially Cartwright. Your job is to recruit. That's his job. That is his job, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is the other thing. As a club, we're not very open. It'd be brilliant if someone could come out and say what actually happens, because some people say it's all Cartwright. I've heard from people that it's a mixture. Cartwright gets some. When he worked under Pulis, it was all Pulis. Pulis wouldn't listen to him. Yeah. Now I believe that some of the signings might have been down to Cartwright. That some have been Mark Hughes. There's no clear. So there doesn't seem to be any clear.
Who's doing what? We seem to be half-arsed drifting towards the European model, the coach recruitment model. Yeah, you're not a manager. Yeah, that sort of thing. But I don't think we've fully transitioned, and it's left us with this murky sort of position that we're in. And I don't know who's responsible, but Wimmer, Berahino, Imbula, I think they're the 3 names. If someone asked me why is Stoke going down, I'd chuck them 3 names out there. Think what we could have done. The position we were in.
50 million almost there.
At the end of Mark Hughes' second and even third year in charge, there's basically been 50 million spent. I think where we were in that 9th. That's what's so frustrating about this relegation. It's not like we were in the Prem through luck. We did it because we were clever. Consolidated. We were smart. We were a clever, well-run business, and we shouldn't be in this position. But something went seriously tits up.
Established mid-table Premier League.
Yeah, we were.
You're only supposed to build from there.
Yeah, and it's just gone majorly tits up. It's not like we've been flirting with relegation since day one of being in the Prem. I don't think we have once. Really, have we?
I'm going to play devil's advocate, as I always do. And I've actually said this on social media, so I'm probably not playing devil's advocate. But when Peter Coates comes out in December and says, "What's all the fuss about?" which is the quote that everyone uses now, everyone's saying after every game, is it show that there's a bit of complacency there, or you couldn't see where this mess was going? Does it show that maybe he should hand it on to John Coates, his son, and just enjoy his retirement, supporting the club, so to say? Should the baton be passed on there when there's such an obvious lack of realisation as to the situation we're in?
I kind of, as much as I will...
I also want to throw a caveat in there. I also followed up to the tweet where I said about this situation, I said, love Peter Coates. He's done so much for the club. The City got us where we got us into the Premier League. For me personally, I had my first ever proper job under him at E26, under his company and Denise's. So, nothing but respect there. But is it that time where you just go, right, I'll pass it on?
Well, I think, first of all, I think with Coates, he's not... what's the word? He's not... You can criticise someone that's done well. It's not like he's going to be kind of... You can't touch him because he's done what he's done. And it's clear to see now that he was too complacent and we held on to Hughes too long. But I'm not sure if it's as easy to say John Coates should take over, because I can't help but think John Coates has been as involved, if not more than Peter anyway. Really, I'm not sure he would have worked this round. But I think it's the club upwards. I think there's been a lot of complacency from the fans. In the Bet365 is not what it was.
No.
It's been quiet for ages. It's no Bet, is it?
No, I think that... We're not changing the name, though. I think that just comes with being consolidated
it's a shame,
into a Premier League club. I think that just happens. Unless you get a singing section like Palace or someone like that, and you have that atmosphere. It happens at a lot of clubs.
Things that one of the things I really respect Peter Coates for was sticking with managers in this era of chop and change left, right, centre, because I detested that part of football. I thought it was just ridiculous, and I respected Coates for holding on to managers. But I'll hold my hands up and say, I think the game has changed now. You're never going to get another Sir Alex Ferguson 20-year. People like managers like Pep Guardiola and Mourinho, they will come and go very quickly. I don't think Guardiola will be at Man City in 4 or 5 years' time.
I think he will.
I don't think he will. I think he'll think...
I think Man City is setting up a base there for longevity.
I think he'll leave his legacy, but I think he's quoted Guardiola that players need to see a different voice every several years. And I think we and Coates were slightly stuck in that old-fashioned mentality of be loyal to the manager, which I don't blame him for doing, because I think it's an honest trait. But I think going forward, you need to acknowledge when things are getting stale, and they were under Hughes long before we sacked him. And I was the same. I was with Coates. I was like, I understood why I'd not sacked Hughes for a while. I was backing him. Because I respected the club for not being one of these sacking clubs. But now the game's changed.
That's led to a downfall.
Maybe it's the attitude of the players and being multi-millionaires that they need a fresh voice every now and then. That respect doesn't really stick about. I don't know. I don't know if I've even answered your question then. I've gone on a big tangent now.
Big rant.
He made a mistake, but I think it came from a good place. If that makes sense.
Okay.
If that makes sense,
okay.
Don't know.
Let's get on to the people's questions. Obviously, there's always some good ones, some silly ones.
The people.
The people. Jake All starts of all people. If you could swap lives with anyone in the world, who would you choose and why? Paul Lambert. I'd keep us up.
Would you? Would you? I've always had this debate with mates. Would you rather be a top musician or a top footy player? They're the two kind of glamorous sort of lives.
Musician, because you're allowed you
can get on it, can't you?
Yeah.
I'd like... I don't know. I always dwell on this sort of thing. You answer, Al, because
I've answered.
What, musician? What musician?
Oh, a musician.
You want someone, don't you, Jake?
Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams?
In his A-day.
You'll get slaughtered for that.
He's from Stoke. Just because he's a Vale fan, he doesn't really support Vale. He's got a box at Chelsea.
I think you can't. Messi. Let's go to World Cup and win it and be a legend.
Okay,
we'll do that.
Messi, that'll do. Thoughts on from Harry Fisher? Thoughts on Ryan Shotton having more goals playing striker than Berahino does?
Just have a little chuckle.
Yes. Ian Barber, would you take fashion advice from Hesse?
No,
definitely not.
No chance.
Luke Barker, of the last 6 games, 4 are winnable. In brackets.
Yeah.
Of those 4, 3 are against other struggling sides. At minimum, we need to win 2 of those. 3, in my opinion, and draw the other 2. Ideally, Palace and Swansea. Can we do it? We look good against Arsenal, the new formation, but 4 points adrift.
Can we do it?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think we've sort of gone on to this earlier. But
I don't know.
It's difficult to weigh it up. We need a shock result.
Yeah.
We need one shock result.
Yeah.
I think
West Ham away is the shock result we need to target. But that's going to be hard.
Dom Lohman, would you sack Lambert at the end of the season, and who would you bring in?
No. I've already... like I was with Hughes. I wouldn't sack him because I think he's been chucked into a very difficult position. So no, basically I wouldn't. I'd be keen to test something out for a little bit.
Harvey Todd, if you had the chance to invade the pitch at Stoke and protest anything Stoke City related, what would it be and why? I'd run on and go, we want contactless payments.
Yeah, I'd do that. As much as we might be getting relegated, I still think we're a well-run club generally. So I don't feel that agree that I have to protest that much.
Generally.
Yeah.
Do you reckon guys like Bauer and Ndiaye were brought with the Championship in mind? Says Dominic Unwin.
I think they're better quality than the Championship, so I can only assume no. But maybe they were planning to get that quality in place, and if that's the case, that's quite forward-thinking, I guess.
David Carr says, will Bet365 and the Coates family keep us if we go down, or will they get a shot of an underperforming asset?
I think they'll keep us.
I think they'll keep us.
They'll keep us.
They've got the stadium brand, dude.
Yeah, and I'd like to think that they want to get us back there because they want this platform, advertising platform.
They don't want to be playing in the Sky Bet Championship, put it that way.
Yeah. No, they don't, do they?
Put it that way.
Yeah.
GBU, sorry. I don't know if I've got that right. What Championship away day food delights are you looking forward to?
Food delights?
Borough? Want a Parmo? I wouldn't mind having a Parmo.
Is there much unique about the teams in the Championship food-wise? Apart from your standard pie?
I'm not sure I can think of, but I think it might mean delicacies in the cities, like that, a Parmo at Borough.
Right. No, it's my answer to that question. No, there's nothing I'm looking forward to about the Championship. Not the food, not the football. Not the empty grounds.
Absolutely not.
No.
Ben Trant says, is this actually the best time to go down? Established Prem side means nothing now, years of progress and spending, but worse than threadbare championships like Newcastle, Huddersfield. Champ never easy, but Bournemouth and Burnley get top 10 within 2 years. Spirit over quality.
It's a reasonable point. I remember back in the day, maybe 10 years ago, it was when Derby kind of came up and went straight back down on like 11 points or whatever. There's a real philosophy mentality that is impossible to stay up. That has shifted a lot now.
Yeah, it's changed.
That has shifted a lot. I think it's harder to go up than it is to stay up now.
Well, as it stands, there's only one promoted club that's in danger.
Yeah,
and that is
Huddersfield, and they look reasonably. I think I can see them getting out of it. To be honest, yeah, reasonable point. But I mean, you have to get out of the division in the first place before we contemplate the second part of staying up.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely have to.
And that is the hard thing.
That is the difficult bit. Let's have a look. Is there any more? Someone wants to know why. Nicola Chapman says, can anyone explain why Campbell still never gets on the pitch despite him scoring for fun for the under-23s and we have the worst forward line in the Prem? The only thing I can put it down to is his performance when we played Leicester. I don't know if that's because he wasn't great.
He wasn't great. He didn't look ready.
I don't know if that's just put Lambert off him.
I can only assume it has done.
And when every game means so much at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd rather be now he's back. You'd rather be playing Juve than Campbell.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, I think Juve's a little bit smart with his runs. He was a bit headless chicken when he come on Campbell. I kind of understand why he's not been played, based off the back of that Leicester performance.
Jesus. Christopher Klaus says, what would be your all-time Stoke five-a-side team?
Based on what we've witnessed in our lifetimes as opposed to Stanley Matthews.
Oh, that's difficult because obviously, we weren't around then. So he says your all-time.
I'll go with what I've witnessed, and it'd be Sorensen in net. I still think he's the best keeper we've had since been the Prem. Yeah. You have to have... What formation play with 5 then? Then that's just 4 outfield players.
Four outfield
what
players.
is it? That's 2...
2 and 2, or all attackers. You can do whatever at five-a-side.
I reckon Fuller up front, obviously.
Yeah, I met him on Saturday.
Did you?
Saturday night. I've got a picture on me Twitter in Revs Hanley.
Oh, did you?
Was it Sunday night? Sorry.
Did you have a word of him?
Said hello. Yeah. Try to get him come on this.
Did you?
Yeah.
And he look.
Maybe.
Yeah, Ricky Fuller, Matty Everington, Sorensen. It's ironic these are all Pulis players, isn't it? Who else we got?
Shawcross. Just have one defender.
I think in 5-a-side he'd struggle.
Probably.
I think he'd struggle a little bit. I don't like the man, but I think Arnie has been class. He was one of our better players. So Arnie. Then I just need one defender. Yeah, I'll stick Shawcross in there.
Okay, I'm going to do my all-time. So I'm going to have Peter Hoekstra up front.
Peter Hoekstra?
Yeah, because I used to love Hoekstra. And Fuller.
Yeah.
Them two up top. Mm-hmm. Shaq and Arnie. I'm just going all attacking.
Yeah.
All little... Them pair can play at the back because they're good with the feet.
Yeah.
Hoekstra, Fuller.
Who's defending?
All attacking. No, that's it. All attacking.
Oh, all attacking, no one.
Sorensen in goal.
I couldn't see Arnie and Shaq tracking there. It'd be chaos.
Yeah, but we'll outscore the other team.
Yeah.
Outscore the other
Kevin
team.
Keegan way.
But between us, let's decide an all-time, even with players we haven't witnessed. So it's obviously Banks in goal.
Banks.
Sir Stanley Matthews. Stino.
I don't think... I mean, he was class for Stoke in the lower leagues. I mean, it's got to be someone like John Ritchie. He's our all-time leading scorer.
Leading scorer, yeah.
Alan Hudson. I think Alan Hudson, Matthews, Banks, Stanley Matthews. I want someone for the modern era. I'm going to put Matty Evans in there. I think he's been our best winger since we've been up.
Left field shout that.
Yeah.
I would have put one of my favourites players is Rory Delap, but he's useless at five-a-side.
Yeah. I'd like Steen in there. I would like Steen, but I think you have to look at where the goals are scored. Possibly there.
Thomas Williams says, "Is Shaq comfortable at Stoke?" I think he'd be gone.
Yeah, he had no chance. Staying up or going down, he won't be at Stoke next year.
And lastly, Matt Bennett says, Craig, are eyebrows facial hair?
No.
Why not?
Because that means girls have facial hair. We know they don't.
They do, some.
Not many, though.
If you bearded ladies in retirement.
From Eastern Europe.
That's been the questions. Best one?
I like the five-side one.
Yeah, Chris.
It's quite entertaining, enjoyable to answer that, yeah.
So lastly, we have covered it a little bit, but Spurs this weekend, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be so tough. Harry Kane back.
Yeah.
Just beat Chelsea.
We lose, don't we? It's the most negative thing I've ever said on this podcast, but I just can't help but think
Do you
that's
know what?
reality.
I'm going to plump for a 1-0 win.
Oh, mate.
After this Arsenal performance. 70 minutes, defend for our lives, nick one, hold out.
If we beat Tottenham, we stay up. Because there's no way we're beating this Tottenham.
We'll have momentum then.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite a good thing to take in. You know, if we beat Tottenham, we stay up. There's no way we'll go down if we beat Tottenham.
No, there isn't. So let's end it there on a bit of positivity.
We will beat Tottenham
That
1-0.
has been the Bear Pit Pod. Listen, if everyone thinks that, maybe it'll just go in by magic.
You know what, El? We do need that because everyone, including me, seems to concede relegation. But if we had that mentality, you never know.
You
might tip the balance.
never know what happens. We can suck it into the goal on Sunday. Is it Sunday? Saturday?
I need to put my trains. I've not even looked yet. It's Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Saturday. Saturday.
Yeah.
I think. So that has been the Bear Pit Pod. Make sure you go and drop us a like wherever you're listening, whether that be YouTube, SoundCloud, Acast, Instagram isn't one. I don't know why I was about to say that. Wherever. There's another place. I can't. iTunes, that's the one.
Yeah.
I got there. Eyes. Make sure you go leave us a review, 5 stars if you can on Instagram. But that's been the Bear Pit Pod, and we will be back next week.
Celebrating a win.
Celebrating a 1-0 win.
Spurs.